hands on all these products. Like, who am I kidding? What is up, you guys? Welcome back, and should I say Happy New Year? We are finally in 2021. Honestly, 2020 was a year that I thought would never pass, but to be honest, it did go by very quickly for being in the house literally every single day of the year. Let me know if you guys feel the same way, but I really want to come back and film my Best of Beauty 2020 favorites and just reflect on the products that I was loving all throughout 2020. So if you guys enjoy these videos like I do, I actually love to film them and I love to binge watch them, then make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn on your post notifications so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload, which is every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into all the good stuff. So let's go. So let's go ahead and get straight into it, you guys. Now, I will be going over each product in the order in which I do my makeup. I'll also have little categories down below with timestamps next to them, just to make this video a little easier to navigate because I do have a lot of products to go over. So let's start off with face primer. This probably comes to no surprise because when I say I love something, I love it. Like, I use it in every single video and I cannot stop. And that is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Face Primer. I love that this is a very hydrating formula. Last year, I really tried to steer clear of products that were filled with a bunch of silicone. So I switched over to using this and I love it. Like, saying I love it is definitely an understatement. I would use this in every single video. It gives my skin the added hydration it needs, especially during this time of the year because my skin is a little on the dry side. I also love that it's very tacky. So whatever I put on top of it is really going to stick to it and adhere to it for a long period of time. This here is a spot on dupe for the Milk Hydro Get Face Primer, but better in my personal opinion. So definitely check it out. The next product I want to talk about is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, which is a moisturizer. So I probably should have talked about it before the face primer, but whatever. What I love about this is that it is a very, very rich anti-aging moisturizer, and even though it's rich, it doesn't ever feel greasy on the skin. It definitely feels very, very lightweight, and it gives my skin such an insane glow. I always love to put this on right before I did my makeup. I would sit down and the first thing you guys would ask me is, what is on your face? Because your skin looks so incredibly moisturized, dewy, and glowy. And it's this guy right here. It's oil-free, paraben-free, and sulfate-free. It is pretty pricey, but let me tell you, it's well worth the money. I went through 2 jars. This is my 3rd one, and I'm literally scraping the bottom. So do what you want, but definitely a favorite. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about foundations. Now, I do have quite a few to get through in today's video, so buckle up because I'm gonna take you guys on a ride. I do want to quickly highlight this foundation right here. I talked about it for maybe 6 months straight when I first discovered it. It is the Almay Comfort Matte Skin Perfecting Foundation. I love this foundation so much. It's hypoallergenic, it's fragrance-free, oil-free, also dermatologist tested. So it works really, really great for my acne-prone skin. It's medium to full coverage. So if you're not really into full-on coverage, you could definitely shear this out a little bit and do medium coverage, but it definitely covers up all my blemishes. As you guys know, I do have very problematic skin, acne-prone skin, and this just works incredible. I'm not entirely sure about the shade range. I definitely feel like they may need to work on that. Also, the cap situation, like, why don't we have a pump on this? This definitely reminds me of Revlon old school Color Stay. I'm gonna say they have a pump on Color Stay now, but I definitely would love like an improved package of this foundation. But overall, formula incredible, and it's like my go-to, so holla. I also quickly want to mention the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy. Now, if you guys are really looking for a foundation that's going to make you look dewy and glowy, this is a product for you. I'm telling you, it looks dewy, glowy, not greasy, not sweaty. It also hydrates the skin and smooths it out at the same time. It's almost like Facetune in a bottle. Like, it is literally that good. It retails for under 10 bucks, so you can't really beat the price point, especially considering the formula. I also want to mention a face oil, which isn't something that I thought I would be into, but it's a product that I was reaching for a ton, especially on my like no makeup, very, very natural days. And I'm talking about the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. Now, you do have to shake this really, really well before use. The formula of this is very, very fluid. I'm talking so fluid that'll literally run down your hand. Like, woo! Okay, got scared. Thought I was gonna get it on my shirt. Anyways, back to the actual product. This product right here, it's not medium coverage, it's not full coverage. It definitely is more of a sheer to light formula that's really going to moisturize the skin and really just even out your skin tone. Again, I really started to reach for this on my no makeup days. When we had to wear a mask a lot, this is a product that I would reach for because I really wanted something that was going to give me added skincare benefits. It has jojoba oil in it, has rosehip seed oil in it, so it's gonna soothe and brighten the skin. So again, I would reach for this a lot when I would have to wear a mask and I really wanted to have something on my skin that was gonna even things out and make me look put together, you know? So, great product. Love it. Go get it. All right. Thank me later. Moving on to the next product. Now the high-end foundation that takes the cake for me all of 2020 is the Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. I know a lot of people really get afraid when something is marketed as medium to full on coverage because they aren't entirely sure if it is going to work for their age group or their skin type or anything like that. And I'm here to say that this foundation literally works with all skin types. It works with all different age groups. And the reason that I know this is because this is the foundation of choice that I use in my working freelance makeup artist kit, and it doesn't settle into any fine lines or wrinkles. It just really gives you this really, really beautiful, flawless base that is almost like a barely there look, but still full coverage, if you get me. So definitely check out this foundation. It is so good. It's a foundation that I always go back to, and I literally cannot say enough good things about it. So there's that. So let's talk about concealer really quick. I discovered this little cocktail that I literally couldn't get enough of last year. It is very much affordable. So when you think cocktail, it's kind of like, okay, is it expensive? No, both products are very much affordable. And I'm talking about both of these right here by e.l.f. This is the original 16-hour camo concealer paired with their hydrating 16-hour camo. These two together literally make the perfect combo because the hydrating formula on its own, it's just a little too sheer for me. It doesn't give me the coverage that I need. Whereas the original formula, if you guys have tried this, you guys know it is very full on coverage. It's almost a little too drying underneath the eye. So I like to sheer it out and add a little bit of hydration by adding in the hydrating formula. These two together make the perfect concealer cocktail combo, in my personal opinion, and I have not been able to put it down in 2020. Probably gonna continue using it all of 2021. Don't shade me. When I love something, I have to keep using it. Like, I literally can't stop. But let's move on to this next concealer favorite. This is definitely a cult favorite and an oldie but a goodie. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I don't use this as much underneath my eyes as I do to spot conceal. I do have very problematic and acne prone skin, so I love to use this on my no makeup days. I'll actually have a video listed right here if you guys want to check it out on how I use this concealer. It's really pretty on the skin. It never looks like too heavy or too full coverage, so it really makes for the perfect spot concealer. So love that. And then a higher end concealer that I really, really love and definitely recommend is this one right here by Laura Mercier. This is the Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wearing Concealer. I do use the shade 1N. If you are looking for something that's very long wearing underneath the eyes, this is gonna be your go-to. What I love most about it is that it blends very, very nicely underneath the eyes. It doesn't settle into any fine lines or wrinkles, and it gives me a really pretty soft focus effect, which is really, really beautiful when taking photos. So I don't know if it's just me personally, but loose powders are starting to feel like a thing of the past. And it's not to say that I didn't love any loose powders last year, but I just found myself reaching for them less and less. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with age because I can't heavily bake like I used to do when I was 18 because it just doesn't sit on the skin the same. So I really found myself reaching for pressed powders that were a little bit more natural and lightweight on the skin, something that was going to blur but not add additional coverage, because in turn it would just make my skin look very heavy and crepey. So I found myself reaching for powders like this. This one here is from number 7. This here is the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder. Let me tell you, this is a spot on dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Face Powder, which I love. I was spending like $42 over and over and over again until I found this, which is like 12 bucks, 13 bucks tops. It is so pretty on the skin. It sets everything down and in place without looking heavy or crepey. It also adds this really pretty like veil of luminosity on the skin without looking like shimmer or glitter. It's like the weirdest thing because this powder is like completely matte, if you can see.
Hello there.
It just does something very, very pretty and special to the skin. So I definitely feel like this is gonna be a staple for many people in all different age groups as well. Another pressed powder that I literally fell in love with is this one right here by Pat McGrath. Let me tell you, I spent a pretty penny on this powder here. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfecting Blurring Under Eye Powder. I do have mine here in the shade medium, which sometimes I feel can be a little too dark for me, especially if I'm not self-tan, so I will be going back and getting the lighter version, but this blurs my under eye area like no other. It creates such a beautiful soft veil effect that you literally need in your life. Like if you have not tried this powder, you need to go out and get it today because it does something so pretty underneath the eyes. Now I'm just gonna touch it so that way you guys could really see what this looks like on my hand. Like, do you see that? It is incredible. Like, it's luminous, but it's not shimmery or glittery. Let's talk about bronzer really quick, and I say really quick because you guys already know what's up. I love the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade Suntan. This is more of like a hard pressed bronzer. I want to say they have several shades in the line, so you guys are definitely going to want to check this out. But I've had this for like a year and a half, and you can't even tell I put a dent in it, but I use it in every single video, and that's because it is more of a hard pressed bronzer. If I take my brush to it, there's not going to be any kickback in the pan. I really love how pigmented this is. A little bit goes a very long way, and it really gives me like the prettiest like bronze effect as if I've been laying out on the beach. Okay, let's move on to a cream bronzer that dropped last year. This is the Fenty Beauty Cream Cheeks Out Bronzer in the shade Macchiato. I didn't think I was gonna love this as much as I do, but this gives my skin the prettiest color I have ever seen. It blends out very nicely. I'm just going to take a little bit onto my finger. As you can see, it is the prettiest formula. It doesn't sit on top of the skin. It really melts into the skin and gives you a really pretty natural bronze effect. I really fell in love with creams last year. I really wanted to experiment with them more and figure out what works for my skin, and this works incredible with my skin. I did have a little hiccup where I felt like it was getting patchy on me, but it was just the way I was applying it. I do actually like to apply it with a specific brush, which is this brush right here. This is by Sephora Collection. This is the Pro Foundation number 47. So get your hands on this with a little bit of this, and you're gonna look bomb. Surprisingly enough, 2020 was a year that I didn't want to look like a glazed donut. So in simpler terms, I really just didn't reach for as much highlighter, but when I did, I reached for this one right here by Dior. This is the Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizer, and let me tell you, this is the prettiest highlighter I have ever seen. It is in the form of a powder, but on the skin it looks so wet and glossy. I am going to swatch it on my hand so that way you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. The shine, the beam, the glow, it's just unreal. I'm also gonna put some on my hand here so that way you can see what it looks like on the skin. It's a highlighter that doesn't sit on top of the skin. It really just melts into the skin, and it really looks wet and glossy, but it's in the form of a powder. You guys definitely gotta check out Dior highlighters. They are literally a godsend, literally a dream. I also ended up picking up this during a sale. This is the Glow Face Palette by Dior, and it has these two shades, which I definitely put a dent in. I don't use these two as much, but I definitely want to experiment more with them in 2021. Now, when Rare Beauty launched these blushes, I literally lost my mind because they are so good. I have not come across a cream blush that I love more than I love this cream blush right here. Now I have two shades. I have Love and Joy. I love them both just as much. I do want to try more colors from the line, but this is a very pigmented formula. So the best way I could recommend applying this is taking a little bit on the back of your hand. Honestly, whenever I work with creams in general, I have a makeup artist mentality. I always swatch on the back of my hand, and then I'll take a brush, something like this. I'll really pack that product onto the brush, and then I'll apply it to the face, because if you apply this straight to your cheeks, you are gonna be in trouble because like I said, a little bit goes a very long way. This is very pigmented right off the bat. So you have to start off small with a little bit of product and then lightly build it up. I am wearing it on my cheeks today, and as you can see, it looks very, very pretty. This is a cream blush. It's gonna last you all day long. It does not fade whatsoever, and it really is the prettiest formula I have ever seen. Another blush favorite is this one right here by Patrick Ta. Now, I did use a lot of Patrick Ta products last year, and let me just say, I need more because they are so good. This here is the Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's So LA. I love this color for one. Now, I really love the concept of this. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put the powder on first and then the cream on top. You guys actually taught me that. You had to school me. And let me tell you, this is also a very, very pretty long wearing formula. So if you want something different, definitely check out this by Patrick Ta. Let's talk about brows really quick because last year in 2020, I feel like my brow routine changed the most out of everything. And that's because before I was really into very filled in, very structured brows. Whereas in 2020, I really wanted to master like the feathered, very effortless brow. I took my time to really grow out my brows to what you see right now. And I'm so obsessed with my routine. And I wanted to share with you 2 products that really changed the game for me. One of which is the Patrick Ta for brows. This is the Shaping Wax in Clear. What you're supposed to do is take a little bit of setting spray. I just use a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. You take a spoolie, brush this through your brows. I wait for it to get tacky, and then I'll take my finger and I'll really lay them down because I do have very curly brow hairs. So this lays down my brows like no other. Then I'll go in with a little bit of the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Brow Color. This one is in the shade Dark, and I'll go in and I'll do fine hair-like strokes in the areas where I feel like I need it. Then I'll carve it out with a little bit of concealer. And that is pretty much like my go-to feathered boy brow look with these 2 products. So game-changing, life-changing, like you need it. Yesterday. Now, who would I be if I didn't have eyeshadow palette favorites? To no surprise, these are all neutral tone eyeshadow palettes, but I mean, what did you really expect? I really perfected my go-to soft glam last year using these palettes here. So I quickly want to mention these 2 ColourPop palettes. I have Going Coconuts, which, ooh, let me tell you, I love this palette so much. Last year, mine actually broke. This was out of stock for some time. I was devastated, finally got my hands on it, and here we are. This is the prettiest neutral tone palette without pulling too warm or too orange. Like, if you're going for a soft glam look, I definitely feel like this is a palette you're gonna wanna pick up. It's cool, but it's not ashy, it's not gray, if you get me. So this is a really, really great palette to pick up if you want something a little softer on the eyes. I also fell in love with Nude Mood here. I really love the shimmers within this palette. This is my go-to palette if I wanna do a really pretty bronzy look. This bronze shade right here, gorgeous. Do you guys see that? ColourPop palettes really give you a bang for your buck. They're affordably priced and they are great, great quality. So those are 2 of my favorite affordable palettes from ColourPop. I also fell in love with this palette right here by Too Faced. This is the Born This Way, the Natural Nudes eyeshadow palette. Now, I've been reaching for this a lot lately, especially to do a look very similar to this. I really love using these softer shades right here. I don't reach for the shimmers as often just because I've really been into a very, very all matte look. But I've been using these browns, and this dark brown. Chef's kiss. That's all I'm gonna say. I kid you not, my camera literally died in the process of me having a heart attack because my Soft Glam 2 palette, sultry, it cracked. Wow. Anyways, the Soft Glam 2 palette kind of felt like a gimmick when I first got it, but after I started using it, I'm like, wow, I love all the shades in here. It's super small and compact, perfect for travel. Not that we did any traveling last year, let me just say that, but I love how small it is because I would literally take my Soft Glam palette with me everywhere, and I love that I have all the shades I need to do a really pretty soft glam look. I love that it has a black because let me tell you, I love a good smoked out black liner. So again, I'm devastated by the loss of the sultry shade.
I wish I had more time with her. I wish I tried a little harder to make that happen.
But I really love this. It's a gem, super sleek, chic, compact, and I have no complaints. So let's talk about eyeliner favorites really quick. Last year, I was really into a smoked out brown eyeliner, and the way I did that was by using a crayon eyeliner. I have two favorite brown crayon eyeliners to share with you, one of which is MAC Costa Riche. This is such a cult favorite. This here is what it looks like, and what I really love about this MAC formula is that it really gives you enough play time to buff and blend it out, but once it's set, and it's literally not going anywhere. So that's what MAC Costa Riche looks like blended out on my hand. And then I also was really obsessed with NARS Mambo. This is NARS Mambo. It definitely pulls a little bit more red than MAC Costa Riche, but the same exact thing. It gives you enough play time to really buff and blend it out. And once it sets, it's set. So definitely take your pick on which one. They're definitely both favorites of mine, and I highly recommend. Then I do have a liquid eyeliner favorite. This is the One Size Point Made eyeliner. As you guys know, Patrick Starrr did launch One Size last year, and this is such an iconic black eyeliner. It is so black. It literally stays in place. It does not smudge, it does not budge, and it also doesn't settle into any fine lines. You guys see that? You can create a very thin line with it. You can do a very thick line. Literally, whatever your vibe, whatever your stilo is, I think you guys are really going to love this. This is what the point looks like. It's a felt tip liner. I really don't get down with felt tip liners. I'm a brush tip kind of girl, but this one here, staple. Can't live without it. Definitely need a backup. So let's talk about lashes really quick. Now, last year, it was very rare if you guys caught me without false lashes, and that's mainly because I feel like they really elevate and really complete a look. But when I wasn't wearing false lashes, I was obsessed with this mascara right here by L'Oreal. This is the Air Volume Mascara. This gives my natural lashes an insane amount of volume, and I'm obsessed with it. Sometimes I do feel like it can get a little clumpy, so I like to go in with a little bit of the Revlon So Fierce mascara. If you look at this wand, it definitely is more of a plastic wand, so it really separates my lashes. So when they get a little too clumpy, I'll go in with the So Fierce. I do quickly want to show you the brush tip on the L'Oreal wand. This is probably my favorite kind of wand in a mascara. Again, it gives my lashes an insane amount of volume, and I've never been this obsessed with them. So this definitely was my go-to lash combo towards the very end of 2020, because I want to say this is a new launch for L'Oreal. So there's that. Moving on to actual false lashes. Now, for a long time, I was really obsessed with like lily lashes, or lashes that were just very, very full and thick. But what I didn't realize is they were actually covering up all of my eyeshadow, and they weren't really doing a thing for my eye shape. So I came across Tati lashes, and I really love this line right here that they created in collaboration with Jamie on the internet. I'm not entirely sure how to say her last name, so I'm not even gonna butcher it, but I have several styles right here. This is Jamie 1. We have another pair of Jamie 1. We have Jamie 3. And then we also have Jamie 2, which I have on my eyes right now. Love, love, love Tati lashes. They're so pretty, so flirty. I did customize Jamie 3 if you guys were curious. I cut them a little shorter, and then I cut the inner part a little shorter as well to give me a fit and flare look, but definitely check out Tati lashes. They have so many amazing natural lash styles that don't look too overly done. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a lot of favorite nude lip combos in 2020, so I'm definitely gonna save that for another video. I do quickly wanna highlight one of my favorite lip liners of 2020. It's this one right here by Milani. This is the Understatement lip liner in the shade Saucy Toffee. I was really obsessed with brown lip liner last year, paired with a very, very pretty nude lip. And I love that this is a brown lip liner, but it's not too dark to the point where it literally looks like espresso beans, if you get me. It's a really pretty muted brown that complements any and every nude lip color. I love to line my lips with this. I love to fill them in completely. It doesn't get crepey or it doesn't crumble up on your lips. So you could definitely use it as an actual lip color in addition to a lip liner. Now, a lipstick or two lipsticks that I fell in love with last year is this one right here by Maybelline. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is in the shade Baddest Beige. I'm gonna top a little bit in the center. I've actually been dying to put on this lipstick until now. I'm gonna put some in the center to give me a little pout. As you can see, just adding a little bit to the center of my lips really just added lightness without being too overpowering. Now this definitely reminds me of a lip gloss in the form of a lipstick. It definitely is very moisturizing and hydrating on the lips, and it gives my skin the prettiest sheen I have ever seen. It almost looks like I'm wearing a lip gloss. So really love this. It definitely reminds me of the Fenty lipsticks that came out, but for an affordable price. I also really love this lipstick right here by Kylie Jenner. This is in the shade Dulce de Leche. I really love this shade right here paired with this brown lip liner. Girl, you can't beat it. Those are just a couple of my nude lip favorites. Again, I will be doing a full video dedicated to my top favorite nude lipsticks for 2020, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I do quickly want to touch on glosses because I was high-key obsessed with glosses last year. Why? I have no idea, because let me tell you, gloss and wearing a mask, the two just don't mix. But I found myself wearing a lot of lip gloss, one of which is the Lifter Gloss by Maybelline. This is such a beautiful formula. This definitely is a spot on dupe for the Fenty Gloss Bombs. Let me tell you, for an affordable price, you can't even really beat it. This is what this shade looks like right here. This is in the shade Topaz. Again, spot on dupe for Fenty Glow by Fenty. Just saying, if you want something affordable. And then I also have been loving this lip gloss right here by Morphe and Madison Beer. It's in the shade Mars. I'm also gonna pop on a little bit of this in the center. So I ended up putting that gloss all over, but it really is the prettiest warm nude. It doesn't lean too pink. It also doesn't lean orange or anything like that. It's definitely more of a middle ground in between shade. So that's what Mars looks like swatch on the back of my hand. A couple more lip favorites that I want to share with you are actually products I put on before my lip products. So one of which is this one right here by e.l.f. Let me tell you, e.l.f. really hit it out of the park with this. This is the CBD lip oil. It is a soothing lip oil that leaves the lips soft and supple. Definitely check this out. I want to say it is a little pricey for a lip oil, but I love to put this on at night. I love to put it on right before I do my makeup. It really just softens the lips and gives me a really nice canvas to work on before applying my lip color. I also really love this one right here by Summer Fridays. This is the Lip Butter Balm. Again, a little pricey, but well worth the money. It is in a squeeze out tube. Babito also loves this one. This definitely is one of his favorites. I actually caught him stealing this from my room and putting it in his work drawer. And I'm just like, what's up? Like, that's mine. Give it back. The last and final favorite I want to share with you guys is actually an eyelash curler. And I can't tell you how many of you actually ask me where this eyelash curler is from when I use it in my videos. This is from Revlon. I picked it up from Walgreens on a whim, and it literally is the best lash curler I have ever used. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up. As you can see, this is what it looks like. It literally allows me to pinch my lashes without curling the actual false lash, because let me show you actually. So this right here is a regular lash curler. As you can see, I would have a really hard time sticking my actual lash in this lash curler, whereas this one, I just pinch my lash with the false lash and I don't have an issue. Like, I definitely prefer this over this any day of the week. But that is pretty much it for my Best of Beauty 2020 favorites. Let me know what you guys thought down below in the comments. And if you guys have any favorites that you were loving all throughout 2020, leave them down below because I'd love to check them out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and click that bell so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload, which is every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.